The topic of this video is going to be a little bit controversial and may stir up some reactions from whoever may come across it. So that is my little disclaimer about this video. However you feel about it, that's fine. If you want to leave it in the comments, let me know and we can have a healthy discussion about it, that's fine. But let me get started. So Colin Kaepernick is now the face on the new Nike ad. The ad says something along the lines of people fight for what they believe in, even if it's sacrifices, whatever, you know, that's not the point of it. What I'm here to do is talk about how I feel about the ad, as well as the truth about whether Kaepernick is un-American or American, and just the backlash that Nike has been receiving. So as we all know, Kaepernick has kneeled when he was in the NFL for the flag because he believes that there's a lot of injustice that goes on to African Americans in America as well as other minorities. Cool, we got that out of the way. That's what's been going on. He's been out of the NFL now for almost a year and a half. He didn't play at all last season. Cool. So once we get past all that, let's talk about the issue. So a lot of people are mad that Nike decided to sign Kaepernick as the face of their new ad. They're saying it's un-American. Nike does not respect our military. They do not respect our veterans. They do not respect America as a whole. Kaepernick should not be put on there. I even saw a tweet that said something along the lines of J.J. Watt should be the face of it because of the hurricane relief he did in Houston. So what I'm going to say is this. I think Nike did an amazing job, and I think they did the right move by signing Kaepernick. Whether it's a money grab for them or not, because they know there is a big fan base that would support them for signing Nike, to me that's not the issue. Whether they did it for a money grab or for publicity, whether their intentions were pure or not, the fact is they did sign Kaepernick. Kaepernick is making money off of this so his career can continue with his activism and all the other things he is doing. Also, it makes people believe that whether Nike agrees or not, Kaepernick does have a spotlight and does have a platform now given to him by Nike. So it really doesn't matter what Nike's intention was, whether it was selfish or not. I think when Nike made this move, they had already weighed their options, they weighed the pros and cons, and they knew that this move was going to piss a lot of people off, but the reward would be that it would gain them a lot of fans, and there was a larger majority of people, especially their customers, that would support this move. To be honest, a lot of the people that I saw that were mad were older white people. And I'm not here to talk about Nike's demographics or, you know, what their consumer base is, but I just don't think that older middle class white Americans are buying Nikes like crazy or are Nike's main demographic. I'm sure they spend a lot of money on Nike. I've been seeing a lot of pictures of them burning their, you know, their stuff, cutting the Nike logo out. So they do have a customer base, but I think Nike is too calculated and too big of a company to just make this decision without weighing their options. So obviously they felt that signing Kaepernick would be the best option for them and would probably be the best business move, and they were ready to deal with the blowback from the consumers and deal with the protesting and boycotting, whatever. A lot of people saying Kaepernick was not American, he was unpatriotic for kneeling. Never mind the fact that he was sitting and a teammate of his at the time told him kneeling was more respectful, because in the military they kneeled for fallen soldiers. That doesn't matter apparently. What apparently matters is someone is kneeling. What I think is un-American though is people who do not support Kaepernick's protesting or support any kind of peaceful protest just in general. What I think is un-American is people trying to silence those who speak about injustices that occur in America. And what I think is un-American is the majority of people who believe that minorities in America and people of color and pretty much anyone who is not white is experiencing racism, oppression, is being treated unfairly by the law, by police officers. I think that is completely un-American in itself. Just watching the news, even, okay, let's say the news is biased, you don't believe the news. Fine, perfectly fine. I'll extend that olive branch, we'll go with that. But do your own research online. Look at the statistics that show how many unarmed people are murdered by the police. And yes, more white people are killed than black people by police. But when you account the percentage of the American population, it is very unproportional. What is it? White people make up 60% of the country. African Americans make up a lot less. I don't know this direct number off the top of my head, but when you look at the statistics, it doesn't add up at all. Black people are getting killed by police at a much higher proportional or much higher rate than white people. That is a fact. There's no way to dispute that fact. There's no way to, the numbers are there. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Literally, the numbers are there. So believing that this stuff doesn't happen is un-American. It makes you really naive and, you know, it makes you really ignorant to what's going on in America. You may be living in a bubble, a white suburban bubble, and you may be seeing life differently, but the reality is these things do happen to a lot of people in America. These things are happening in America, and to deny that is very un-American. It is very un-American to deny someone the right to protest silently and peacefully. When African Americans were protesting in, where's the place at? When Mike Brown got killed? Ferguson. When they were protesting in Ferguson, people were mad, saying, oh, you need to stop protesting violently. Baltimore, I come from Baltimore. I was there when the riots were happening. People were saying, you know what, that's not right. If you want America to listen to you, you got to act differently. Well, Kaepernick did act differently. A lot of athletes are acting differently. A lot of athletes are speaking out peacefully and on the right platforms, and it is still being looked at as un-American. There's nothing un-American about protesting America. If you really were American and really respected the flag, you would follow the code of ethics that is there for the flag. You would respect that you can't lay the flag out horizontally, you can't wear it on your merch, you can't use it as advertisement like on beer cans and things like that. If you were really American and you really supported the flag and our veterans, you would believe that. And if you were really American and you truly supported our veterans, you say protesting the flag is disrespecting those who fought for this country. You would not lock your doors and roll up your windows when you see a homeless veteran approach you at the light asking for money. You would not look at a homeless veteran on the street literally begging for money and tell them, hey, you need to get a job, or in your head have negative and disgusting thoughts about them. You cannot deny someone else protesting for their right by using another group such as veterans for fighting for this country and then disrespect those same veterans you use in the argument. That is completely un-American, and you are literally using a certain group to kind of prove your point, which isn't right at all. If you really believed that these veterans were fighting for this country and they should really be respected, then you know what you would do? You would do things and volunteer at shelters. You would volunteer at food banks. You would help these homeless veterans that are needing help that the country is not providing them. You would stand up for those soldiers who fought for your right to live the life you are living, and you would do all that you can to ensure that they are being treated fairly in this country and given an opportunity to find employment, housing, and to live a productive life in this society. There's a lot of things that go on with veterans, trauma. They experience a lot of really bad things, and then they come here and they have to readjust back to life. It's very difficult for them, and the VA doesn't really deliver all the time for them. I can't speak too much of the nuances and, you know, all those laws and like the insurance stuff, but the fact is there are a lot of homeless veterans in the street. A lot of people that support these veterans, that use the veterans as an argument against those protesting the flag, don't do anything for these veterans, to be fair. Like, to be honest, they don't do any single thing for these veterans, and you can't keep using that as an argument. You know, I'm kind of rambling way more than I expected regarding this, but I think Nike did an amazing decision in signing Kaepernick. I think they understand the message. I think Nike gets it. Whether their intention was to make money or not, they understand it. They cater to a demographic of a lot of younger people, a lot of minorities, a lot of athlete, you know, the athlete groups, fans of athletes, fans of sports. They cater to that demographic the most, and they know the people that are buying their products. A lot of them support Kaepernick. So for all the people, primarily white people, who are mad that Nike signed Kaepernick, let me say this: burning your stuff is not going to do anything because you already spent money and Nike got your money. Number two, I don't think Nike's really worried about you guys protesting and burning their products, because again, they made their money off you and they're not catering. Their main demographic is not you. And number three, if you really were upset that Nike signed Kaepernick, then you would know that it's probably right for you to protest the NFL, because Nike is the official brand of the NFL. All the apparel is made by Nike, all the clothing, jerseys, everything. You cannot boycott Nike for signing Kaepernick while you still watch and support the NFL, because the money you spend on your cable packages, on your streaming services, on your Sunday ticket, the money you spend to go to games, some of it does go to Nike to pay for that brand deal. So again, don't be a hypocrite. Don't have a double standard. Live your life. You know, whatever you believe in, do it. Nobody's telling you not to. But if you really are against Nike that much, boycott the NFL then, the same way Kaepernick fans are boycotting the NFL. If you're really about it, put your money where your mouth is and do it. Instead of complaining on social media, instead of taking pictures. I mean, it don't even make sense. They're wearing Nike shirts, socks, and they're cutting out the Nike logo while still wearing the shirt. If you cut the Nike logo off of your socks and you wear pants so nobody sees that it was cut out, you're still wearing a Nike sock. Getting rid of the logo does not erase the money you spent to that company. So, I rambled a lot. That is my very, very quick, unplanned, unthought out thoughts about this whole Nike Kaepernick thing. So once again, shout out to Nike, shout out to Kaepernick. I don't think the NFL will ever bring Kaepernick back, which is a shame, but I'm glad Kaepernick has opportunities to put his face out there, and he is getting deals that are making him money so he can continue to do his activism work, since he does have a platform that a lot of activists do not. He is someone with a lot of status and power and money, and he has the ability to reach out to thousands and millions of people to spread his message. So shout out Colin Kaepernick, shout out Nike, and to everybody mad about that, shut up. Have you